for so many years, so many of us make this mistake. Everyone is just copying everybody else. And then we're all selling stuff to people so that they can copy us and build what they built, because we know that people want things easy. And when you sell people what they want and give them what they need, well, they want things easy and fast and profitable, and they don't want to work and they don't want to do anything. So obviously you should just copy it. And of course, when you get in there, it's usually more complicated than that, but sometimes it is somewhat easy. And this, by the way, has many different problems. One of the biggest problems with this is that it leads to mass niched offer market saturation, so that everybody ends up having the same offer. But one of the worst things that it's doing is that it's turned everybody into fuck awful marketers, absolutely terrible marketers. Yeah, I was thinking about this the other day, and it's kind of like when you're, when you're like those of us who used to be alive before the era of the GPS, and we used to print out MapQuest, right? Those were great. MapQuest. Don't worry about it. Driving, I got paper on the steering wheel. Maybe I'm holding it off. Now it says take a left, right? It was awful, right? But what happened was we rarely ended up using MapQuest because it was a pain in the butt, right? If you were just going to go, like, let's say you moved to a new town and you just needed to go to the gym, which was about a 10-minute drive away. You may have printed out MapQuest once, but then you're good. Like, you figured it out, right? And so you ultimately learned it. So when you think about your hometown, unless you've lived there like in the same place your entire life, but when you think about your hometown, could you go back there right now and get all around just drive all around your hometown and never get lost, never have a problem, right? I know that I could. I learned it because I learned it through repetition, and I just did it so many times. I went so many different places, so many different iterations of it. But now I use my GPS to go everywhere like everybody does. I moved here. I live in the Lehigh Valley, which is about an hour outside Philadelphia. And I'll tell you right now, I've been living here for about 6 years, and there are still places that I cannot go to without a GPS, even if they're like 5-10 minutes away, because I never took the time to learn it. I just put it into my GPS, and I don't know what I listened to an audiobook. I just sort of let it drive me. I have no concept, right? And that's what's happening in marketing. So everybody's copying everybody else's systems. They're plugging it into their business, plug and play, right? And so as a result, nobody actually learns how to market. Nobody innovates. There's like no innovation in the marketplace. Every time we look at an ad or a social media feed, we feel like we've seen it before because, again, there's no innovation. Nobody's thinking about marketing psychology. And if they are thinking about marketing psychology, chances are they're talking about how they're thinking about marketing psychology, and they're trying to pitch it as some sort of system. I get it. I understand. And I completely am on board with the idea that certain marketing things work, like having systems and frameworks and principles and offers, and all of this is, to me, is marketing principles. But essentially, every offer out there in coaching, consulting, or online courses is essentially not doing that because they want to get quick results for their clients or their students or whatever by just plugging into something that they did work, that they saw work, right? So it's just like, I scaled XYZ doing ABC. You can do it too. All you got to do is take my XYZ, plug it into your ABC, and you can just make money. It's easy, it's fast, it's affordable, it's highly profitable. You can have this done in a week. Doesn't that sound great? Now, we all know that that's not exactly how it's not at all how business works. It doesn't work that way. And as a result, we all are becoming terrible marketers. And I'm not on some sort of there's nothing special about me with this stuff. Like, I did it too. I felt lost when I first started my business after years working in, I don't know if you call it corporate America. I was working in like new media, these like hot young startups, these media startups in New York. But I was an employee. So when I was all of a sudden in charge of my own business, and I became very aware very soon that the entire job of running a business really is sales and marketing. And so it's all about how are we going to generate leads, and then how are we going to close those leads on the phone. And it just feels exhaustingly difficult sometimes, and it can be very frustrating. And so it's a big pain point because we feel like, hey, are we going to have to go back to this 9 to 5 job that I hated, or I'm gonna have can I not be my own boss? When you're in that early tenuous stage of being an entrepreneur, it's so easy for someone to market to you based on your emotions, because your emotions are very strong, because you feel like you're sort of dangling on the edge of a cliff, and you're just like waiting for that thread to snap, or maybe somebody can give you a lifeline. And that lifeline comes in the form of these systems that you can copy and paste. And there's nothing necessarily wrong with them. I've certainly sold these too, but I don't really think that I learned much about marketing in the first 3 years of being an entrepreneur in the marketing space. I really didn't, because I was just following what other people did. And the other interesting thing is, psychologically, I became extremely adverse to risk taking and innovating, because I felt like I should only be doing things that are proven to work, because if not, I'm wasting time, money, and energy resources, and I don't know if it will work, and I'm not comfortable with the unknown. And if I'm not comfortable with the unknown, I'm just not I'm just like, I don't want to do something that I don't know if it will work, because that feels scary. I don't want to do that. But as a result, I didn't learn anything about marketing, and I see a lot of folks now, like, my wisdom 40-year-old me on a pulpit or something, but like, I see so much of this now, people selling systems, buying systems. I listen, I have symptoms too. Symptoms of what? Symptoms of an idiot that nobody wants to listen to talk. I have symptoms of I've systems. I've had these as well. The hero system, seed system, all these types of things, and they do work. But I would much rather have you not copy and paste this into your business. I would like you to learn it and interpret it and use it to evolve your business. I mean, I think that the key there's two keys to everything, as far as I'm concerned: perspective and social culture. I think that our relationships define us. I think that that's the most important thing here. We're all out here with other people. Everything around us is made by people, for people. We can't escape that. So that's a big piece of it. And the other thing is perspective, which again has to do with other people. I think that as you continue to get these other inputs, you get to pick all of these inputs from different places, and not just take somebody's input and just grab it and just use it and not learn anything, like me and my GPS, but use it as perspective. Take the GPS for one trip, and then try to not use the GPS on the next trip on the same route. That's how you use a system. And that's how we should sell systems. And I actually think that there is this massive, massive lack of trust capital out there in the marketplace because of this. Because these are not one size fits all. It's just impossible. There's too many variables. So ultimately, what my message is here is, stop trying to copy other people's stuff. Think about innovation. Learn principles. Principles are the box. If you can just learn marketing principles, ethical, empathetic marketing principles, and then think of ways to innovate so that you can actually do good and change the world and change people's lives and have an impact, which is what marketing does. That's its core focus, right? It's actually not making more money. Making more money is a byproduct of impact, if you're doing this right, in my opinion. So we just gotta stop copying. We just gotta stop copying, and we have to stop selling copies. And we gotta be honest.